Because our colleague, Evan Gershkovich from the Wall Street Journal, of course, has been held in prison now for many months. He's appealed again against these trumped-up charges. He's charged with spying. He wasn't. He was just
being a journalist.
He was being a journalist. He was reporting. I guess it'll come as no surprise to anyone, really. Guess what? His appeal has been rejected.
Yeah, it's no surprise, is it? I mean, he did say, actually, Putin, during that propaganda interview with Tucker Carlson, that he could be freed. But then this is the whole thing. Putin is playing everybody at the moment. He's sort of ramped it up a gear into a new level of trolling the world with killing whoever he wants on whichever foreign soil he wants or on his own home turf, putting people in prison on trumped-up or completely confected charges, using Tucker Carlson to spread, you know, his stupid propaganda to America, which those idiot Republicans are lapping up.
I keep telling you. Also, Tucker Carlson used Putin.
Of course he did.
It worked for Tucker Carlson. Tucker Carlson doesn't care about all the stuff you're talking about.
I know he doesn't.
I get your point.
Yeah.
But Tucker Carlson, as far as he's...
Tucker Carlson?
Yeah, exactly.
Well, no,
a lot of journalists are like that.
That is very obvious.
But anyway...
But Putin is really ramping it up
just to reiterate, we stand with Evan. He's been in jail now for more than 300 long and painful days.
It's awful.
And it's about time, Putin, if you have any decency whatsoever, which I doubt, you let him go.
We are prepared to fight the Russian offensive, and we've been proving this by showing everybody how our Trident nuclear deterrent is fit for purpose and brilliant, and we can fire it on anyone at
Trident
any
missile,
time.
and it went like this. It went... And it didn't explode or anything. It just fell into the sea.
Our nuclear-powered submarine, the HMS Vanguard, it isn't the envy of the world, by the way. It's why nobody wants the rubbish French ones, which are still like coal-fire powered. They use a small modular reactor nuclear technology so it can stay underwater for a long time. A lot of other countries would like to have those, but it's supposed to be there to then fire missiles. Unfortunately, Trident 2, well, it did successfully leave the submarine. That's good. That's what it's supposed to do.
And then it just fell.
Yeah, the first stage boosters didn't ignite, and the 58-ton missile, well, bottom of the ocean.
Meanwhile, our flagship aircraft carrier, the Prince of Wales, remains in Portsmouth dock. It did try to get out a couple of weeks ago for some NATO tests, but it didn't quite make it to the harbour wall, had to turn round and remains marooned there.
I mean,
this, ladies and gentlemen, is our Navy. It's really, really worrying.
Space race and arms war that's going on, and we're doing this massive NATO exercise, about 90,000-odd troops, and it's supposed to be showing all of our adversaries in China and Iran and Russia that don't mess with us. Well, we don't really look like much of a force to be messed with right now.
Change attack. Let's talk about the fourth plinth in Trafalgar Square. I hate the fourth plinth. They always put something pathetic on there, like an ice cream with a fly on it. Anyway, it's going begging at the moment, that fourth plinth. And, of course, a lot of people have said this is the perfect opportunity to put up a statue of the Queen, Her Majesty the Queen, the late, great sovereign who died so sadly last year, of course. Sadiq Khan's rejected that. No, no, no. We have to choose between a Bollywood-themed ice cream van that looks like a rocket.
And it's also going to pipe Bollywood music out.
Yeah, a golden bust of a woman's head, a black cat, and my personal favourite, a massive sweet potato. Why can't we have the Queen? Why not?
Oh, this is just ridiculous. You know, as a country who should be trying to take itself seriously, and Trafalgar Square is an amazing part of London. The tall Nelson's column, those imposing lines, the fountains, the National Gallery, the view down Whitehall to Parliament. This is very much the centre of London. And that spare plinth on that square is constantly used to put crap on, basically. Am I allowed to say that at this time in the morning?
Yes, you are.
I've got a really good
hereby
idea
give you permission.
of a particular piece of effluence that I wouldn't mind on top of that fourth plinth. And it's Sadiq Khan himself. I think in some sort of like modern-day installation, the power of the mayor, he should stand on that plinth 40 days and 40 nights during Lent. That's my proposal.
That's a very good proposal. I do like it very much. I just think it's not permanent. I mean, why can't Sadiq Khan understand that people would love a statue of the Queen there, even for 6 months or something? Then you can put your damn sweet potato on if you want. Come on, put the Queen up there. It always
has to be a woke joke, though, doesn't it?
Yeah,
and that's what we're becoming, a woke joke.
That is Sadiq Khan. Right, Jerry Horner, you can take up the mantle on the actual row. Jerry Horner, former Spice Girl, Ginger Spice. In this row concerning her husband, Christian Horner, who's the boss of the Red Bull F1 racing team, He's accused of inappropriate, I think, bullying behaviours.
Well,
Nothing sexual about it.
now.
Anyway, in this maelstrom of everybody's getting involved, for some reason, we're not quite sure, but Jerry Horner, Ginger Spice, has unfollowed Victoria and David Beckham. Victoria, of course, was Posh Spice. No one knows why she was called Posh Spice, but I suppose by Spice Girl standards, she was very upper class. Not very. But anyway, David and Victoria have done something to incur the wrath of Christian Horner's husband. Take up the mantle.
Christian Horner's husband?
Yeah,
misgendering Jerry now.
Sorry.
No, so Christian Horner, I think, is now evolving. Reports in a Dutch newspaper that he might have been sexting. This is clearly having ramifications for poor Jerry, who said she's going to stand by her husband. And now is maybe thinking, well, should I? Should I really? What's he really been up to? Formula One pre-season testing is about to begin. In fact, it has started. And he is very much present at the launch of his car and there at testing, but it is causing a big distraction. There's been talk that there's this power play going on inside the team, and the team's kind of split in two, and that there are people who want to oust Horner. And what's interesting in all this is that Jerry also stopped following Max Verstappen, the star driver and championship winner of the last couple of seasons. And does that mean, therefore, that Max is not on Team Horner and also wants to see the boss, who's been in place for a good 15 years at Red Bull and won a huge handful of world championships, been very successful.
Perhaps he's at the centre of all of this. And, of course,
who knows?
Clearly, Jerry feels that Victoria and David Beckham have not shown enough support for her in her hour of need and her husband's hour of need. But this one will run and run and run. It's quite a story. Now, it's come to that time where we have to talk about the scourge of anti-Semitism in this country, which is just disgusting.
This story is absolutely
So this poor guy, a father of three, lives in London. Him and his wife, they're Jewish. They had a baby, so they sent off for a passport for their little girl.
Register the baby.
Yeah, and register the baby. Sorry, not a birth certificate. You're quite right. Anyway, when it came back, it's all defaced, it's ripped, and the word Israel has been scribbled out.
The mother was born in Israel, and on birth certificates you have to have where your father's born, where your mother's born. You know, it goes back to your parents, and so then you're sort of on records and identified and all the rest of it. And someone's ripped this and scribbled out the word Israel. This is in His Majesty's Passport Office. This is utterly, utterly deplorable. Well, I mean, when you've got our people emboldened so much in our institutions, they're doing things like this, and I'm sure it's some sort of criminal defence to deface such documents, because documents like that actually belong to His Majesty, in theory. But I just think this is awful.
Here's the deal. This must be traceable. They must know who did this.
Who processed that?
Who processed that application for a birth certificate. Home Secretary James Cleverly, find that person and fire them for being racist. How about that? Do that, and do it now. And this poor dad goes on to say that this is a terribly frightening time to live in Britain if you're Jewish. This is just disgusting. Whatever happened to this country? We should not be doing this.
And then the same people who do this are the ones who love bandying about the term Nazis about everyone else, don't they? Who are the Nazis in this situation? This is pretty sad news, isn't it? This Robin Windsor, who was Strictly Come Dancing, it seems to me that he had a big battle.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like, people are, shall we say, mincing their words, but he was found in a London hotel, and he had a lot of dark thoughts, and friends said he often talked of suicide.
Yeah.
There's a story in the Daily Mail saying that when he was sacked from Strictly Come Dancing, I think it was back in about 2012, he never really recovered from that. He never really got over that.
What are we going to do when we get sacked?
I'm going to go drinking, I think.
Cider time.
Now, very quickly, just to remind you of the breaking news, the Office star Ewan McIntosh, who played Keith in the hit show, has died aged 50. In the last few moments, Ricky Gervais has released a statement to say it's extremely sad news. He was very lovely and very funny. He was an original. Rest in peace. Well said,